All right then, mate. How you doing? You all right?
Long time no speak, huh?
I know.
It's been a while.
I know. So yeah, we are waiting for a couple of other people to jump on. But obviously, guys, this is the last time, well, the first time in a long time I've done a live, and I've got Shauna with me to guide me through all this and help me out and everything. I don't know if there might be some people in here that have never seen you before over on Cop Talk. Shauna, if you want to introduce yourself or something, I don't know. Like, what do you want?
God, I don't know whether that's a good idea for your channel. I did podcasting and YouTube a long time ago, which would be kind of would have questioned the owners a little bit. I've kind of matured since then, and I'm kind of looking for the easy life. And I of course have been on Cop Talk as well, and Shauno's world famous quiz and all of that. So yeah, that's basically me, and just regular Liverpool supporter.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm hoping that people are going to be with us actually now, like the ones that are going to join us. But we'll crack on and they can just join us when with. So guys, this stream is all about Jurgen Klopp, and at the end we're going to talk about the future of Liverpool. Obviously now under Arne Slot, now that we've had that announcement, there has been a few things as well that have come out since that announcement that's got my brain ticking. Especially on the Athletic regarding James Pearce. He's done a massive article around that, but anyway, that's by the by. That's something for later on. But yeah, so I think, guys, what we'll do first is we'll watch this, and then we will crack on with the memories that we've got of Jurgen Klopp, and what he basically made us feel like. Because I've got some stuff I want to say that I haven't actually said on this channel at all. So here we go, guys. So just for me starting off, being a 90s kid, Jurgen Klopp has given to me what my mum had when she was growing up and what she kind of brought me up on, like, where she saw all that success and everything. And yeah, like as I've grown up, we've won, the Champions League 2005 and the treble under was Houllier. And then, I've gone through the dross of Hodgson and Rodgers and stuff like that. So Jurgen Klopp was like the first manager that basically showed me what my mum had. Like I was thinking about it the other day. Like Grobbelaar is Alisson, Alisson's our Grobbelaar, Hansen, Virgil van Dijk, Barnes, Salah. Like I won't say that we've got like a rush yet, but because we really don't at the moment. But
Fingers crossed.
But yeah, I remember when he had his first press conference as well. Like I was working at Foot Locker. I remember getting the notification that it was about to happen. Then I ran down into the stock room and I just listened to the whole thing. And that's when he came out with like that normal one, because the press were trying to press him to have some sort of comparison to Mourinho and stuff like that. And yeah, I don't know, man. Like, I hope this is probably going into something a little bit later on, but I do hope that like this is going to be more of a, a Shankly into a Paisley rather than, I don't know. Do you know what I mean? Like, I hope that we're going to have some decent stuff that happens now with Slot and everything. But yeah, I'll hand it over to you, Sean. Like, what have you got anything you want to talk about, like regarding like Klopp and stuff at the beginning and stuff?
Here, I've been writing this down for the last 2 weeks. First of all, I want to give a shout out to the Dugout Football Channel, who have been in contact with, and obviously Gary, Jen, and Tally Ho. Yeah, I mean, for people, there's people out there that are so young that all they know is Jurgen Klopp and Liverpool Football Club, and for people that are a little bit more senior and are kind of losing their hair. Me, like obviously we're believers, and we don't know what it was like, or we don't remember what it was like to be, doubters, and that was down to Jurgen Klopp. I do remember, like, back before Jurgen, there was like, expectations were just dreadful. It was just, if like basically hit Champions League, get into Champions League, and that was it. And we were kind of internet memes. You had Ian Eyre, who, like, there was a load of internet memes, like, he'd do the scouting for players to sign for another club, But, when I remember where I was when I heard the announcement that Klopp came, and the funny thing is I went into a pub and this guy with a baseball hat, German, big tall fella, came in, the spitting image of Jurgen Klopp. I nearly wanted to hug the guy and not have to explain to him why. But he's like, all of the rubbish that you see on social media and the press and whatever, like with Eric Ten Hag that do all these promotions and interviews and whatever. And Jurgen Klopp just basically came out, I'm the normal one, very modest type of guy, but he made a statement of intent. He says, we're going to win the league.
Yeah.
And he did it.
Yeah.
So I don't know what to say. It's
I'm just going to go over some stats, but I just wanted to give a shout out to Jen for the super. Is it super chat that? I think it is. Yeah. About that one there for you, Shano.
Thanking you. Mighty Reds as well. That's Brandon, who a good friend of mine as well.
All right, Brandon. And you got G over at GTV football channel.
Yeah.
I was on a stream with him over on is it Jamie Phillips's channel, and me and him seem to be the only ones that were kind of having the opinion, and it's good to have someone who's got the same sort of wavelength as you when you're talking about stuff, so everyone don't gang up on you. So yeah, go give him a subscribe and have a look at his channel, guys. It's really, really good. So yeah, just touching on what Klopp did and everything at Liverpool. So I saw this earlier on. So apparently, there's a percentage here of like his win percentage and everything like that. And out of 491 games, he won 60.9% of them. And then underneath that, you've got Kenny Dalglish, 381 games, 58%. Bob Paisley, 535, 57%. Benitez, 350 at 55%. And then Joe Fagan, 131 at 53%. So he's up there with like, probably, the greatest, managers that Liverpool have ever had in terms to win percentage and everything like that. And then obviously the stuff that he did win with us, with the Champions League, the Super Cup, the World Club Cup, the Premier League, the Carabao, the FA, the Community Shield, and then the Carabao again this year. Like, he literally just brought everything that I've never experienced as a Liverpool fan in my lifetime in such a short amount of time as well. Like, I think there was something that I saw earlier on around, was it Alex Ferguson? For Sir Alex Ferguson to have won what he won, it took him 13 years, and Klopp did in 6 years or whatever it was, 9 years or something like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, just phenomenal. Like, manager, really, really. I just can't think of anyone else could have come in and done the job he did with the circumstances that he's having to work in, the money. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's worked absolute wonders. He really has for the club, for the fans, everybody. And as I said earlier, I've got memories now that my mom had when she was younger, and I can pass them on to, the generation after me, and like, oh, Jurgen Klopp, Mo Salah, blah, blah, blah. Do you know what I mean? Like, and then hopefully they'll grow up with potentially another manager, like Arne Slot or whatever, giving them something to look forward to. So yeah. Have you got any certain like moments other than like during his tenure that stick out for you as well?
Jesus, there's so many. I mean, first of all, his personality, like, I can't get over this fucking loss at the Crystal Palace, and the boom, and some of the comments that he'd say, he was brilliant. He was absolutely brilliant. But definitely, when we won our first trophy under him, obviously the Champions League, I remember, I was in a pub, and the weather was quite nice in Ireland, which is unusual. And we're outside watching on the big screen, and literally there were 2 Spurs fans in front of us, and that was it. That was all the Spurs fans. But I literally cried. I just couldn't stop. I was out with my cousin's husband, who's become a Liverpool fan because I've dragged him in. But I just couldn't stop crying. Could not stop crying, and just seeing the emotion there between Jurgen and Henderson. And the other thing that I don't know whether you saw this stat that came up on Sky Sports now, and correct me if I'm wrong, but the way rival fans like to kind of shit on Jurgen and what he achieved, and maybe he should have achieved more and all of that. We achieved more in the 9 years that Jurgen was at Liverpool Football Club than in the previous 24 seasons.
But that's what I mean, though. Like, in general, like the guy brought stuff to us that I'd never experienced. Like, obviously, like I say, I witnessed the Champions League before, but it was always like peaks and troughs during my childhood. Like, one year we'd finish like 3rd or 4th, and the next year we'd be like 8th. And then, do you know what I mean? Like, we were constantly for at least I'd say 3 years. Obviously, we had that drop after the year after we won the league. But I would say for at least 3 years, maybe probably more, 4 years, we were challenging for the title. Like, we were there. Like, maybe not all the way to the end, but we were a lot closer challenging for it than any other point in my life. So
that used to be a taboo thing, though. I mean, if you wanted to challenge for the league or challenge for a title or challenge for any silverware, you're glory hunting, what's. But Klopp came in there and he says, well, hold on a second, we're sleeping giants. Recognize we're giants. Wake up. And that's what he did. I mean, he woke us up, and he gave us the expectation of, we're in it, and we're in it to win it. That's it. And he definitely made doubters into believers, because by Jesus, I was the biggest doubter, biggest doubter out there. I was skeptical of everything that these owners, did, and the policies and whatever. As soon as Klopp came in, I began to kind of ease off, take it easy. And then all of a sudden, he did what he did. And it also, the other important thing is, he did this with a net spend of 346 million, while Chelsea and United spent $1 billion, and City spent 630 million, along with 114 financial fair play breaches. So, I think that's just phenomenal.
100%.
Absolutely phenomenal.
He's got the best out of everything that he possibly could do. Like it's like getting one of them towels and just rinsing the water out of it. He did that with every single player that he possibly could do. Who would have thought that Divock Origi, when we bought him under Brendan Rodgers, would become like a cult legend? Do you know what I mean?
Exactly,
like, he's got his own song and everything now. Like, he spent so much time out on loan in France, not doing much. And then he came back and did what he did. Before we go off, I just want to do something for Gareth, because I did promise him that I would do this. So it is there. Gareth Turner has some social media links. That is like the whole bio link there. It will take you to everything. His Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, Cop-Whites of Anfield, guys. And I think there is a new one that he's just launched as well, which is in remembrance to Klopp. There's a lot of Klopp stuff on there as well. So if you guys are interested, there's the link underneath there. It's going to just scroll past, so you can type it in or whatever there.
Jesus, so, if I thought you were plugging a few things, I would have brought in some of my things here. I am wearing a jackdesigns.co.uk does amazing stuff like jerseys and Jurgen Klopp stuff here. I don't think can you see it here?
Yeah, you can see. Yeah. Put link in comments so people can see it. It's fine. Like, I am kind of involved with what Gareth's doing. I've got it on mine. Like, I think he shares my YouTube channel on there as well. So, thank you, Gareth and Johnny for the super chats as well, guys. Thank you very much for that. We've got someone else here waiting to join us. Hold on a moment.
Jesus.
There he is. How you doing, mate? You all right?
Yeah, not too bad. Been one of them days.
You think he'd put on a Liverpool jersey for a change? What?
Mate, you shut up with your big fringe, your big blood. You look like Tintin.
I look like you. In a couple of years.
So, have you seen what we've been speaking about? Or have you maybe caught up with it? Or
I've just got back from Mazda, mate.
All right, no bother.
Big
we
shout
just
out
going
to
over like
Asda.
top memories at the beginning and stuff like that. If you were
all I can say about Klopp is that he made me love the football again, but I'm heartbroken. I couldn't hold it back in last night. It was just coming down, and my boy said to me, "Daddy, are you really sad?" I was like, "I'm heartbroken."
You know what? I was like that. I wasn't so bad yesterday when it happened, but you know, over the weekend when they keep releasing these videos that have been coming out, all the social media stuff, I was watching that and I was gone half the time. I keep thinking, nice camera here. Hold on a minute. Like, I was like just gone all weekend, and then when it came to the game, I don't. To be fair, I'm not even gonna lie. I had the game on in the background, but I didn't really watch it. It was just like background noise.
I was flickering between the rugby and the football, and I was just like, I couldn't do it. Every time I seen that camera go into Klopp and he was putting his head down and he was doing this, I was just like, it was just, it was this how it was.
Yeah.
It was, he didn't want to go. He's been forced out. And that's John Henry.
Oh, yeah, in touch.
Don't get me started on
that. Do you know what? I'd rather have Sean in it as manager or owner.
I think it was Jen asked the question here. Yeah, there you go. She's put like, what do you think of John Henry? Looked about as excited.
He looked sketchy.
He did, didn't he?
I think it was kind of like, Linda, where are we? Or this doesn't look like Fenway Park. No, yeah. John, this is Anfield. This is with the football team that we've acquired. I hope I didn't spend too much on them. You know, that's basically what he looked as comfortable as an Evertonian.
Yeah. Like my mum, she don't know anything about FSG, but she's been a Liverpool fan like forever. Like she brought me up to be a Liverpool fan, and even she was saying like she was like, bloody hell, is he the owner? And I was like, yeah. And she went, you'd think he'd have something a bit more about him, wouldn't you? Like he's not reacting at all.
He didn't know what to do. It was like he needed permission to go in for that photograph when he had the Champions Ball, and he's like, but I didn't like. Who was it? He was it Thiago? No, it wasn't Thiago. It was the guy who come out with the coaching staff with the scarf on.
Oh yeah.
He was a bit with him. He's like one of them, and I think he's got this is down to it all. Is that Jurgen's just gone? Listen, I'm not taking your shit no more.
Yeah,
like I sent that thing to you. I don't know if you read it out or anything. Soft ass there was going, it's not about this, it's all about that.
I haven't read it out yet. No. If you want to go for it.
Since he's been there, I've found that passion again. But since I've not been able to get into it how it used to be because there's no point. There's too many Chiefs and not enough Indians.
Yeah, I mean, like to be fair, I was a bit on and off with football. To be fair, myself for a few years, especially just with stuff going on, and when I first get into work and everything, I was missing games and everything like that. But now, like my work-life balance is a little bit better. I can watch it a bit more, and I'm in it a bit more. And as you say, Klopp brought me 100% back into it. Like,
yeah.
And I am behind Arne Slot, which we'll get into a bit later on. Like I fully
Arne Slot.
I'll save that one for later. Actually, I was about to do something then. No.
What agenda have we got?
So we're just going Klopp memories at the moment, and then we're going to do like his. Well, I guess if that's what we're going to do, we can just go into other ones now. Actually, so we'll go on to the. If I find it, hold on a moment. There we go. His impact at the club. So
massive impact.
He's
brought everyone back together.
100%. Like the fans, I think, are more connected now. Like, there was a lot of stuff prior to that where there was a lot of
divides.
Divides and everything like that. And I don't think, every team should go into a season expecting to win the league. Otherwise, what's the point? But I never went into the season thinking we were going to get top four.
Well, you know what? I don't know what your opinions are on this right now. We've had a bit of a turmoil season. You've got to remember we've had injuries like everyone else. We haven't spent. We've had to do a full midfield again, and to get where we got this year, to me, is more than if you had offered us that at the beginning of the season, mate, everyone had snapped your hand off. No question. But
bear in mind,
because we fell off at that end of the season, it's like we expected ourselves to go on and win it, but we haven't. But we should still be proud of the team because they've got further than what they had.
But bear in mind, Martin, and that's a very good point. We can all kind of, say, well, we could have won this and we fell apart and whatever, and we had injuries. We had a brand new midfield. That's the engine of a goddamn team. A brand new midfield. And we were up for almost 4 trophies. We slipped in the last month and a half. And it maybe a game here, a game there could have made a massive difference. Certainly VAR decisions could have been a whole lot better. The refereeing this season has been shocking, and for every club across the board. But we, I think, have achieved quite a lot, and there's I'm positive insofar as we have a good foundation to build on. Arne Slot has a big foundation to build on. It's not like the way Fergie left United.
Yeah.
All right, lads. So do you know what I mean? It's so like yeah. But yeah, that's massive impact.
Yeah.
Sorry, Adam. I just think we've gone from it's a family unit again now. In my eyes, I love the game of football. Yeah, I've distanced myself away from football, but even though I keep going, I'm not watching a match. I'm like, my eyes on it. I'm like, oh, because I can't help it, and I look forward to that fist pump at the end.
Yeah.
And I think that's what everyone needed. And I'm so proud of where he turned around and said yesterday, you need to go in running at the beginning of that. You've got to get behind him. And he's set a fantastic foundation. He's not coming to like a Brendan Rodgers or Rafa Benitez style now to rebuild it. Arne Slot's coming in now. It's there, ready for him. Yeah, he's not going to have every with, oh yeah, I want this player, I want that player. He's going to have to be a yes man.
Yeah, 100% going to have to be a yes man. And it's like the name change as well. I think you pointed out earlier, Sean, like he's Liverpool's first head coach. He's not a manager.
I think that's strange.
I think we're kind of skipping the because I really think there should be more talked about Klopp's impact, because and if I can get me to
Sean, go.
I think again, when he took over the club, he made a statement of intent and was modest in the way he did it. It wasn't this kind of, well, we're going to knock this off the perch and, all this bullshit that you get off Man United and Sky Sports. It was, look, everyone wanted to call him something. He's the normal one. And he just was a silent assassin. He basically dealt with these things and dealt with the team in silently but effectively. Also, I think, the social media, is absolutely toxic. I got away from X or Twitter or whatever a long time ago. But like you had journalists and the big kind of content creators who would literally slate other fans and whatever and would create a divide. Here's a German man who is, Sammy Lee said it, Jamie Carragher said it, Bruce Grobler said it, that he is the German version of Bill Shankly. And to say that about someone that literally made Liverpool, you could easily say, without any exaggeration, that Klopp got Liverpool, it was in a really bad state, and he rebuilt it the same way as Shankly did. And I think, you can look at trophies and you can say, well, football has completely changed, and it's not for the better, unfortunately. But I think he's just basically put, another statement of intent in his farewell, saying that we're the superpowers and that he just told us to believe. He didn't force us, and we did because we saw what he wanted, and you could see that he was passionate in what he was doing.
Mm-hmm.
And people loved that. People, for a manager to have the same passion as someone in the main stand or the Sir Kenny Dalglish stand or the Cop or Annie Road, for him to have more passion and to say, well, where the hell are you guys? What's going on?
Yeah.
For him to actually say, come on, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. You answer that one, Sean, before I say what I was going to say.
Jay, this is jackdesigns.co.uk.
So yeah, I was going to just say, like, there's two moments that stick out for me actually, where he and it's nothing like where we won anything, but it's the game. I can't remember who we played actually now, but when the fans started leaving early, like in his tenure, and he called them out. Like I think you just mentioned then, like in regards to like what you're doing, like leaving. We need you to the end, stay to the end. And then I think it was the West Brom game where we drew, and he got the whole team to go over and do the the Dortmund thing with the hands in the air and everything like that, and do the cheering. Like everyone took the piss for that, but he was trying to build unity.
Like, yeah, he was. I think he's like, whether it's a win, lose, or draw, them players need to show that passion to the fans, like the fans show the passion to that crest. And I think that's what he was trying to do. And I'll be honest, in my opinion, I think from that game and that passion, where he made them players come over and do that after that draw, I think that's what kickstarted everything coming, rising. And it is what was a heavy metal football.
Yeah.
I think that's, we kicked on from there. It was a statement of intent. It's like, this is what we've got and this is what we're going for now.
I just got to add somebody else. Hold on.
Oh, is that our Brian?
Oh, all right, Brian. All right.
Okay.
That's
where the magic happens.
Oh, yeah. How you feeling after yesterday?
Mate, just I don't know. I was saying to lads earlier, like it kind of hit me more over the weekend with all the social media stuff that was coming out rather than the game yesterday. But so I think I might have been all spent up until when it came. But yeah, like just the guy, we've been saying like he is the Bill Shankly of my era. Like I grew up with nobody like him to show us what we need to win anymore, anything like that. Like
I think he done Klopp I think Klopp has made everyone live and feel them famous words that football is a matter of life and death. And I think he brought that out to Liverpool fans again and the team.
I think Brandon just said it was the Palace game where fans left early, and he said that it was the loneliest he ever felt. For a manager of his stature and charisma to say that, again, like I know that there's a lot on social media where they record fans that are on their phones or doing other things other than cheering their team on, which I think they're as much as part of the problem as the fans that are on the phone doing nothing. But I think Klopp made us believe and made us realize, well, if we have the luxury of going to one of those matches, we have to sing ourselves, I mean, literally sing ourselves hoarse and get our team over the line. And I think that's what Klopp, I think he brought the atmosphere back, although there is question marks over the atmosphere and what have you. I think he certainly made us realize how important the Anfield effect is. And I mean, we've seen that against Bayern Munich, or not Bayern Munich, Barcelona.
Yeah.
Out of this year, these signings, we've had Szoboszlai, McAllister. I think in my own eyes, I think Endo has outshone everyone when he's come on. He was underrated, and what he's done, I think he's more than earned himself into that team.
Endo.
Yeah.
I think he'll. To be fair, I won't be surprised if he's one of the first ones out of the door. I don't know why I've got that feeling, but I just have. But
oh no, I'd get rid of. Oh no, I'm not even going there because I can't even be asked. We're having a debate and getting slated in these comments. But honestly, the first one I'd get rid of is Gomez.
No, I think he'll stay with me, mate. Honestly, it's too versatile, I think. Bright.
I seen a team sheet that someone had put Gomez up front for a goal. I thought, well, do you know what? Fair play.
It'd be like Stephen Colker. That's the thing that Klopp did, isn't it? He put Stephen Colker up front, didn't he?
Steve Colker.
Yeah. I remember that game. Brian, have you got any thoughts on what the impact that Klopp had at Liverpool or anything like that?
Yeah, I think Jurgen was real. Like, he made us. Like, I felt like I could go out with a pint with him. You know, I think he was like so down to earth. I think he was a people's man. I mean, you know, so many, these footballers live all these extravagant lifestyles. They drive these Ferraris, whatever. They live the high life. But with Klopp, I think he's more. I don't know. He's relatable. I think he's relatable to a lot of people. And I think we all gonna miss him, obviously, footballing terms. But I think for me, he's a fantastic manager. But I think he's more than that. You know what I mean? He's more than a manager, and that's what I'm gonna miss more. Because the manager's a manager, but the actual, how can I say, the relatability with Jurgen was what stood out more to me. Like he's like, I don't know, he could run the country. You know what I mean? And I follow him, he'd be an amazing prime minister. But
he's
just so
he's a natural leader. Yeah, 100%. He's a natural leader. Yeah,
leader of men. Like, you follow him into war, wouldn't you? Follow him into battle. He's got that about. Like it's rare. I don't know many people or of any people that I don't know that make you feel like that. Like, crazy.
I think that's the best tribute we've had so far.
Yeah.
I really, really do. I mean, I'm getting fucking teary-eyed there, Brian. I even couldn't remember your name for a second there.
Well, I think the big thing with Klopp, like, the football was fantastic. It was brilliant. But the man was too, And I think...
he wasn't just a manager, though. He was a father figure to everyone.
Yeah.
Father figure to me in many respects, because I don't know the guy. I've never met him in my life. But, I don't know, he just seems to click with him, doesn't he? It's just like, I don't know, relatability, I think. Fantastic guy. I like with Slot coming in now, I'm backing him 100% as I back Jurgen Klopp. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm going into it as, I will back him as much as I back Klopp. But the only thing I would say about Slot is he's got my 100% backing, but he's got to prove it to us. Right? He's got to prove it to us.
And I think that's what Klopp had to do as well, because he was coming into a job. I mean, let's just face it. Again, we rival fans can say whatever they like about Jurgen Klopp. They would give their left one and right one to have Jurgen Klopp manage their squad. I'd
give my wife. I'd let him take.
But let's cut to the bull crap. You're all getting your wish.com Jurgen Klopps and whatever. You're like, honest to God, you would have given anything to have Jurgen Klopp at your club. The thing is, no other manager would have been able to have achieved what Jurgen Klopp achieved at Liverpool Football Club, with the restrictions, the transfer policies, and the low net spend. You guarantee Jose Mourinho wouldn't do it. You're guaranteed Pep Guardiola wouldn't do it. Guaranteed Arsene Wenger wouldn't do it. You're guaranteed that Alex Ferguson wouldn't do it. Guaranteed any of the Chelsea managers that have been and gone wouldn't have done it. They have never been in a dogfight like Jurgen Klopp. Jurgen Klopp has never been at a club where they had a bottomless pit of money and they had an already, superstar team. And you got like the comment that Brian made and Martin, you said as well, is that he's a father figure. He nurtured every single one of those players. Trent
was
Alexander-Arnold.
Wasn't he?
Absolutely, and rightly so, because if it hadn't been for Jurgen Klopp, God knows what would have happened. And I mean, Harvey Elliott has an awful lot to be thankful, with Klopp. So it has been an absolute privilege to have known Jurgen Klopp as Liverpool manager and to have absolute privilege.
And you've also got to remember, is Arne is coming in after the greatest manager ever. He's going to feel that pressure. He's going to be expected to deliver like Klopp did, but he can't. He can't just come in and go like bang, bang, bang. He's got to make it his club now. Klopp laid the foundations, and he's got to take it to the next step. And the pressure he's going to have on him, because everyone's going to think, he's no Jurgen Klopp to him.
It's like literally he's done a Bill Shankly, Jurgen Klopp. And that's it.
I do think that, like, in future, if we are successful under Arne Slot, we might look back on Klopp's impact even more and see that Klopp basically, as you said, Martin, laid the foundations for Liverpool's future success, and it's being carried on by Slot, whoever comes after Slot, and then so on and so forth. Like we had it back in the 70s and the 80s when my mum was a little lass. You know what I mean?
I seen a picture of Klopp, a cartoon picture of Klopp holding two little kids' hands, and then the following picture, it was these kids holding Klopp's hand, over the he's like, "Come on, I brought you up from being children now. You're grown men. You've got this," and they're like holding him, thanking him. I don't know if you've seen it.
Yeah,
I haven't seen it, no. But it does sound like something as well that someone said. Like I think it might have been Klopp himself actually. I think he said in an interview yesterday something regarding that there's kids out there that were never born or were so young they can't remember any other manager than Jurgen Klopp. Yeah. And so they would have thought that he was there to start with and he was going to be there forever. So this is going to be like a whole new thing for them as well.
Yeah, that's what I said in my opening. And I mean, and for people like my age and Martin's age, we became believers when we were massive doubters, and we've now almost forgotten what it's like to doubt because of Jurgen Klopp. There's a great question here, Adam. I hope you don't mind me using me initiative here and just I see that you've highlighted Redbird LFC. What about what other manager would sing the new manager's song? Klopp is special. Now it's time to back Slot, la 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 la. And I think that
was a seal of approval.
It was, and I mean, what an absolute gent to do that, because there's massive pressure on
I
Slot.
think that's a good segue into the next segment, which is obviously the Liverpool future and everything like that. And to be fair, as well, let's just watch it again, shall we? If I can find it properly.
But I have an idea. I heard the song today a few times, and I you can do that. I have no problem with that. Let's see how the response will be. Arne Slot, la 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 la.
Now, for me, that's probably the most Jurgen Klopp thing he could have done. Yeah. And also, I think that would have lifted, again, I think one of you just said then, so much pressure off Arne Slot to start with as well, that he's now got like the blessing and whatever else of Jurgen Klopp. So yeah, guys, I guess the future of Liverpool under Arne Slot now, obviously it's been announced and everything. Like, I guess what's your first thoughts on this?
I'm all for it, and it would have been amazing for Arne Slot to have walked out at Anfield yesterday with Klopp.
Oh, yeah,
That would have
that'd
been
be
incredible.
impressive, yeah, good shout. Yeah,
Like handing the baton or the keys or something.
Yeah,
that would have. Oh, Jesus Christ! I got goosebumps everywhere. That's how much that man means to me. I loved Jurgen Klopp. He's my idol. He's my hero. I don't care how long he's been at club. He will always be a Liverpool legend forever.
Yeah.
God,
I mean, I do think they'll have a meeting as well at some point, because I think they've got to have like a handover meeting between Slot and Klopp. So at some point they will have like a face-to-face, unless it's already happened. It might have already happened over Teams or something like that.
Sounds like a really, really bad WWE tag team champions, Slot and Klopp. The Slot and Klopp connection.
No.
What about you, Bri? What's your thoughts on Slot?
I've watched a few videos, obviously, do a little bit of homework on Slot, and I've got watched the way his football team plays. And what come across more to me, again, like the Feyenoord fans loved him. The Feyenoord loved Slot like we love Klopp. They're all devastated like us this week, but Klopp's going. But you also got to remember that their man just is coming to us. And that's what gives, like, obviously his style of football it looks pretty good, but it is Dutch. But I think he's got that job too because of the reputation he's got with the fans and the club and how he puts himself across. He seems to have a bit of a sense of humour in his interviews. There is traits of Klopp there. Not Jurgen Klopp by any means, but I feel like listening to their fans and how devastated they are that Slot's going, it does make me feel a little bit more confident there. I think he is going to be a man of the club. I just hope he can back it up on the field, because at the end of the day, you don't win games, you're not going to be there that long, regardless.
You were singing "You Never Walk Alone" yesterday as well, weren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, there were. And I think as well, the fact, like you said then, Bri, the fact that he has the same sort of connection with Feyenoord fans as Klopp did with us, it does bode well that basically, hopefully, now that Klopp's done that thing that he did yesterday with the chant, then he'll have that connection from day one. And
it's a typical Klopp thing to do. Klopp's given me optimism, made me feel more excited about Slot because of Klopp. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Chanted his name and all that. It's as if he just said, right, here's Slot, here you go, boy. You treat him like you treated me, and everything's going to be fine. I hope it is. I am a little bit worried about the changes in the backroom staff and all that. I am a little bit worried about Slot's role at Liverpool. He's not a manager, he's a coach, which is a bit telling to me. But I suppose we'll find out that in the new season, won't we?
Yeah.
There's a lot of change there. He's not got the same role as Jurgen. I know that. I don't think he's got the same role.
No, 100%. I think we were talking about this earlier. That it sounds like it's going back to what it was when Klopp first came to the club. Like, say for instance, the route. Obviously, we've all heard the stuff that like Klopp wanted Goetze and was it Julian Brandt, and he was basically told or persuaded or whatever to get Sadio Mane and Mo Salah instead of them players. So it can work in that situation, but when it's every single transfer, I guess, is that just potluck that they got lucky with them two players, or does this show a scenario that it can work? Like, I don't know, what are your guys' thoughts on that?
I think it's like Sean told me about a movie years ago in Moneyball, when it's like a gang of old fellas around the table and saying,
Yeah.
"You've got these three, go and pick which one you want." I don't want any of that.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's going to happen to him. But are they going to go for the goals? Like we know Edwards with his stats, is he going to say, right, can we do like this guy gets like 60% of his balls or 80% crosses in all the time, and he puts these yards in? Are they going to go that tactical way, or are they just going to go, right, we're going to go for goal scorers? Because goal scorers doesn't just work like that. You need to have that build up of possession, attacking and all them little bits.
The last thing that you want is kind of like the same setup as what United had, which was like businessmen dealing with the transfers. And who's going to know more about their team and what sort of mark they want to leave than the actual coach / manager. And I was talking to Brandon, aka Mighty Reds, and Adam as well before we went on air about what's the difference between head coach and manager. And while you're saying that Klopp was kind of had that role, I'm not too sure he had it for too long. Because this has been kind of packaged as this is a new role at Liverpool Football Club. It's something different. So I think it's been packaged to us differently. My concern is I have no doubt that Arne Slot is a good manager. The style of football that he plays is very similar from what I can see of Jurgen's. I hope he brings a plan B with him. But I hope that the players that he believes can implement those plans, I hope he can allow to bring in, and I hope he's backed up. He's got my full backing 110%. And the other thing that I wanted to say is that there will be a lot of YouTubers, journalists, fans out there with egg on their face over the last maybe 24 to 48 hours that are, upset that Klopp has left. But they would be the same people that would have slated Klopp if he got a decision wrong. And I think what people now need to realize is that as fans, we have an obligation. It is our only purpose is to get behind the manager and get behind the players. No player that decides to put on the red of Anfield, red of Liverpool, do we want to see fail. And that's why we must get behind our players and must get behind Arne Slot. There can't be any more the repeat of absolutely slaughtering Kwanzaa online or anything like that. We need to get behind Arne Slot. He's not going to be Jurgen Klopp. Hello, Gemma. He's not going to be Jurgen Klopp. But, let's get behind him. Let's just get behind him. That's it.
Yeah.
Well, I got a question, guys. I got a question. So, Michael Edwards and his strategies, like we heard about Jordan Henderson and Milner. He didn't want to give them contracts and all that, and there's a big falling out. Because Jurgen wanted to give him a contract. So Van Dijk is 32. Mohamed Salah is 32 going 33, I think. Coming to the end of they got 1 year left on their contract. If that's Edwards, he's selling them this year.
I think Van Dijk, you give him a 2-year deal, I think he gets a 2-year deal, there's Van Dijk. I think if the money is right for Salah, and I'm talking north of 90 million, because there's a lot of people, I think Ben Jacobs, one of these journalists who's now like the Saudi Arabian TalkSport correspondent or something like that for some unbeknown reason, he basically said something along the lines of that the deal for Salah to Saudi is still on, but it would be a lot lower than what they offered last time because he's got a year left in his contract. So for me, anything north of 90 million, I'd be snapping the hands off for Salah at the moment. I just do. Like towards the back end of the season, I just don't think he's shown that he's still got it. Like even yesterday, there was one point in the game yesterday where I think he was put through, and Salah of 2 years ago would have just blitzed that player, absolutely like gone. But yesterday it was. I don't know if he was like holding back. I don't know if that's just him now. Like he doesn't have that pace anymore. He got caught up and he got he got caught up and got soldered off the ball and everything. It's a dog, isn't it?
Sorry, boys. Sorry to butt in. I'm just going to have to leave for a few minutes. I've got to sort these kids out because they're about to start.
Yeah, no bother. Yeah.
If you're still live, I'll come back on in 15 minutes or so.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, no worries.
All right. See you in a bit.
See you, Martin.
So yeah, I think Salah's days are numbered at Liverpool. In all fairness, I really do, and just hope that money is given back into Arne Slot or whoever is doing the transfers to get somebody else in. I do want to read out the Paul Joyce article because it sounds like because obviously Paul Joyce is pretty close to Michael Edwards, some people would say, and it's outlined in here what they kind of expect from Slot to start with. Where it says here, like, Arne Slot has been charged with helping Darwin Núñez and several of his teammates to fulfill their potential at Liverpool after being officially appointed Liverpool manager. And if I scroll down a bit more, it goes on to say that the Uruguayan striker's power, speed and determination to continue to put himself in scoring positions are viewed as attributes which can be polished to allow him to blossom next season. Slot helped Santiago Jimenez at Feyenoord. The forward then scored 49 goals in 86 games. And Slot has been known to try to rebuild the confidence of forwards during analyst sessions by stopping a video just as he shoots the ball wide to help the players absorb explanations. And then he also highlighted Ibrahim Konate and Szoboszlai as two other players that need to improve next season also. And just one more thing as well. There was the bit here where it says that Núñez scored 18 goals in all competitions this season, but ended the campaign as a substitute because of his wayward finishing, which contributed to him losing Klopp's trust and fueled speculation over his future. So that's basically the snippets from the article about like Núñez and what Slot can do. And I remember reading something aloud. What was it? Around Slot and that Jimenez guy. And it was to do with something with his running technique. And they like worked on his running technique. And that was what kind of made him a better striker. So I think that maybe Arne Slot could be a blessing in disguise for Darwin Núñez and a couple of these players. Like, what do you think?
Well, I just think Núñez is just a shit finisher, personally. like to me, that's a dig at Jurgen. I mean, you're not going to get any better chances. You're not going to have more chances created for you than in the Jurgen Klopp team. He's a coach. If he can get better out of him, fantastic. I just think the chances he's missed, like literally open goals, 10 yards out, I just don't think you can teach. If you can't put that in and you're a professional footballer, I just think you're just an inconsistent striker that has potential that you may never unlock. And I lost faith in Darwin this year. I've lost faith in him this year. To me, if we can get good money for him and ship him out, I would personally have that boy at Villa. What's his name? Ollie Watkins. Better finisher than Darwin. You know?
What about you?
I remember having a conversation with a friend of mine. I know there's a few of them. But he said that the best thing, I think, best position for Núñez is on the wing where Diaz is placed. Because his run-ins, his run into the box does cause problems. But as an out-and-out number 9, he reckons that he just isn't a number 9. And I would be inclined to agree with him. All right, Matthew. I know that Brandon from our Mighty Reds, he had said, I think Brandon had said, if you have like a 4-3-3, you either have a winger that scores the goals, or you have a centre forward that scores the goals. You can't have both.
Mm.
And it might have been you, Adam, or it might have been Brandon. I think it was Brandon. But to me, that makes sense. Although, I mean, look at Bobby. Bobby again. He was very underrated. He didn't score that many goals, but he certainly provided to Mane and Salah. But I think we've lost that now. So I don't really know with Núñez. I'd like to see, as I said, as a Liverpool supporter, I would like to see anyone that decides to put on the Liverpool jersey to do well. Brandon says it sounds clever, so I'll claim it. But yeah, that's basically. I think maybe give him another season. I would have reservations about Cody. I'd be a bit unsure about Cody.
I think Cody Gakpo has been fantastic. I think he's been him and Diaz along. I think our best attackers this year. Personally, me, because I don't know. Cody's consistent. We're talking about Darwin. I think if you look at the stats, I know a stats guy, and maybe Adam can check them, but I think Cody Gakpo is way more consistent than Darwin Núñez. Look at him because every time he plays, he scores. You know.
I do think that Cody's probably struggled a little bit with consistency in position, but I do think wherever he's played, he's done the job that's required of him to do. Like if he's played through the middle, he's scored the goals. If he's played out on the left, he's driven and given that the energy and everything like that he needs to do on that position. But yeah, I could see Cody being given more of an opportunity under Slot, and that's not just because of the Dutch connection. You got to remember as well, this assistant manager that's coming with him is the Dutch assistant manager as well, like the international team. So there'll be players like Gravenberch and Van Dijk that will know this assistant manager as well because at the international level. So actually, I just think about that. That's quite worrying. That does Holland still play with three at the back? I can't remember if they do or not. Because if they did, that was one thing that Van Dijk said he didn't like doing. So I hope he don't bring that with him.
But if they do, you'll more than likely see Trent in midfield.
Yeah,
true.
Who was about Trent today?
Oh, to Real Madrid.
Yeah.
I don't believe that. I mean, I'm going to be a bit of a contradicted to myself here, but in regards to like, if they start seeing him on social media and stuff like that, we were doing that when Bellingham was on social media with Henderson and Trent all the time, and look where he ended up. So I reckon Trent gets. I agree with what Dunk said earlier on today, actually, to be fair, where he said he reckons that the contracts are going to be staggered. So you might see someone like a Kwanzaa gets a new contract first, and then you might see someone like who's the next peg up, like maybe that's Trent will be the second one. And then you get Van Dijk. And then if Salah does sign a new contract, he'll be the last one that we'll hear about. Even if it's been done for months, we won't hear. I reckon Salah will be the last contract that's announced because of, you gotta manage the PR and everything like that and the message. You gotta keep everyone happy.
But we're not like that. We're not like a fucking, United going on about Paul Pogba on the plane rubbing his hands like, look at me, I'm gonna come on, I'm gonna be a £90 million flop and whatever. Look at Brian flexing the guns there. Look at him.
I broke down today in work, and I've just been stuck in a van with no AC. And it's been 20 degrees here, and I'll be stuck in the middle of nowhere.
Matthew Beale and Spectre are big fans of Brian there.
Yeah. Right, so I got a question out to you. It's just me, I could be mad.
Okay. What's the question?
My mad in thinking we should sell Salah and use the profit for Slot to build his team.
Yeah. That's what, Klopp kind of had to do, didn't he, with Coutinho? He had to sell Coutinho to get Van Dijk and Alisson.
Well, that's when things changed. That's when things changed.
Yeah. What would you say? Let's go through the team then. So, like, if there any, like, goalkeeper wise, do you both see Kelleher going?
Yeah, I can because
I hope not.
I don't want him to go, but he's too good to be on the bench.
Yeah, true. Same. I'm the same. I reckon Kelleher might go because I think he'll want to play first team football. Defenders, then, where do you think? Do you think we might lose any defenders?
Well, obviously Matip's going. I think Gomez might go.
Gomez, I think, will go. Yeah.
And I think Tsimikas may go.
I'm not happy with Tsimikas. I said this to Adam there. I'm not happy with Tsimikas because when Klopp was in the changing room and he says, "I love you," he was sniggering in the background. If Jurgen Klopp told me that he loved me, I got knows.
So you reckon we need a new goalkeeper then as a backup? We need a left back, 2 centre backs potentially, and then a right back if Trent's moving into midfield.
But for me, Kwanzaa's taken Gomez's place now. I think we can afford to lose Gomez because we've got Kwanzaa now. As far as Trent, we've got what was that young kid that come through? Bradley, is it Connor Bradley?
Yeah, Connor Bradley.
He's fantastic. So we've always got Trent there as a right back, but he can also go into midfield, which is a bonus.
And Garrett is saying Kanate is injury prone. He's also got a couple of mistakes in him as well. He's a powerhouse, but he's got a few mistakes in him.
Oh
so
yeah, I think Kwanzaa's shown like I was thinking earlier on of the day. If Matip had not got injured, I reckon he'd have been the first choice of Van Dijk all season long. But then I think he's taking it, and that's why I said earlier, like he'll get a new deal this summer. I think Kwanzaa.
Kwanzaa didn't give any sympathies to Matip being injured. He was like, well, sorry about it, but now it's my opportunity. It's like rubbing his hands. So I like that about him.
What about the midfield then? Do you reckon we lose any out of there? I know we've just signed a fair few of them, but
well, I mean, Thiago's gone, so
Thiago's gone. I still think I like the Japanese boy we got.
Endo.
He's good, but he's not first team. Pushed him for Premier League, pushed him for Champions League. He's a good player.
Yeah,
but we want a world class player.
Yeah.
I think that's a very, if you're going for the Premier League, I think you need a world class holding midfielder. You need a world class centre back. You need a world class striker and a world class goalkeeper. You need that spine in your team, and we've got the keeper. We've got the centre back. We I think we haven't got the striker, but the midfield is Soboslai and McAllister is fantastic this year. I think he's been unbelievable.
Did you see the rumours about him today?
I wouldn't believe in any of those, to be honest.
I don't either. I touched on it in a video, but I don't believe him, to be fair.
I think Garrett is saying Jones. I think Jones has been kind of on everybody's lips about getting rid of him.
Yeah. But what we got to remember, guys, is we got to have so many English players or homegrown players in our team.
Oh, hold up.
And obviously getting rid of Gomez and Jones is leaving us short big time for British players and homegrown players, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%.
We've got to think of that too.
Well, you might bring in someone. You might bring someone like Bobby Clark into the team then, or I don't know who else was that. What were them other youngsters that came on? There was Bradley. There was Clark. Jaden Dans. Is it Dans?
Jaden Dans, yeah.
He'll get a bit more of a game time maybe. Which I guess leads us to the front three then. Like, do you see any of them going? Like, I can see Salah going. I'd sell Jota. He's not injury. I mean, he's too injury prone to be relied upon. Like, he's become basically for me the new Thiago / Daniel Sturridge is Jota. Like,
Brandon said that he's the next Daniel Sturridge.
I stole that from you, Brandon. Sorry.
Yeah.
I definitely think Salah's going this year. 100%.
Do you really?
Yeah. If you hear laughing in the background, it's the kids downstairs because they told me to come back up and I've got to sing out. Jurgen, sorry, what was it? Arne Slot. But they're downstairs watching. They're like, yeah, big thumbs up to everyone.
Nice one.
But,
oh yeah, what about this here? What about this one? What about this player? Do you reckon he gets a bit of a look in next year?
Valio. He's a good player. I mean, he's certainly he's really kicking it up. And where is he at? Hull.
Hull, yeah.
Mighty Hull.
He's a number 10, isn't he? He's a number 10 for me, I think.
Yeah.
I think Slot plays with a 10. I swear that Slot plays 4-2, like 1-3, some weird thing like that. That doesn't sound like right. But you know where you have like 2 holding midfielders and then you have like a number 10 and then you have the 3 at the front. It's something like that. I think that's what he might play with is Slot.
Carvalho reminds me, I don't know why, he just reminds me of that Coutinho type of player. You know, he tries things. He's like that ball that can just release strikers. You know, he can score goals.
Thanks for that, Harvey.
Yeah, I think if we get Carvalho in that middle of the front of the 3 behind the striker, he could probably be back up to Szoboszlai, because I reckon Szoboszlai might come to life in a position like that. Maybe McAllister.
Well, I think that's good because, in all fairness, Szoboszlai needs that competition. I think, doesn't he?
I think Szoboszlai. Sorry, Brian. I think Szoboszlai has got a good bit of, criticism. And I mean, I saw some site or whatever that had flops of the season, and they had Szoboszlai. And I was like, that's a bit rough. I mean, what, you're going to put man up there as well? I mean, I didn't get that, to be honest with you. By the way, just to give a shout out there to Harvey there that has my Danke Jurgen Klopp banner.
He says his name's Harley, not Harvey. He said Harley. You're Irish.
I am. So sorry, Harley. The Danke Jurgen Klopp, which is only on SD Designs on Redbubble.
Little slaughter in there, don't you know?
SD Designs 2020 on Redbubble.
So, what's your expectations for next year, then, boys?
Win the Premier League.
Go for the 4.
Yeah, go for the 4. Take care of it, because we're going to get more titles than United. What do you think?
I think that's a good shout out there by Brandon there, Harvey. I think he's going to be very, very influential in next season.
Well, again, he kicked on back end of season, didn't he? And then, which I think I'm just going to tie this into Szoboszlai. I think Szoboszlai, this is just the first season he's had where he's not had a winter break. So you've got to think his body's used to playing up until whatever time it is in December or whatever, and then having like a month off. So maybe that he might be better next year. Have you seen as well that apparently Slot's brought forward the return time for pre-season? Apparently they were supposed to come back in the second week of July, and he's told them to come back the week before now.
You're damn right, Arnie. Well done.
He needs to get everyone on. He needs to go in there and say, listen, I'm in charge now. You do as I say now. It's a new book and we go again.
What he needs to do is he needs to get to know the city. He needs to get to know the backroom staff, like Klopp did. Get a feel of what Liverpool Football Club is and what the city is. Get to know the players, see what the players are lacking, if they're lacking anything, and then see what players he needs to bring in. He needs to then get on the phone to John W. Henry if Linda can wake him, or Edwards, or whoever the hell is dealing with it. And then he needs to say, well, right, this is the players that I need to bring in. That's the worst Dutch accent ever, but, but what he needs, there can't be any messing about like we had with Georgie Burgess there last summer. Although at the end of the transfer, we did well with the players that we brought in. but we can't have all that fiasco with Casado and Lavia and all of that. That was a joke. We need to now show that we have that not only are the fans backing Slot, but so are the owners and transfer policy and transfer committee and whatever else. They need to back him, and they need to present to him a good kitty and say, well, right, bring in what you need to do.
I don't think he'll get that. You'll get it.
I want to suck your blood.
This is a good shout here, actually, by Gareth. Like he mentions here, like Klopp's first couple of seasons was 8th and 6th. Now, I thought this early on, actually, as well. Like, to be fair, it ties back into what we mentioned with the Klopp's impact, though. Whereas, because Klopp came into let's just be frank about it, a sack of shit. And he's built, like, the foundations now. So, yeah, what Martin said, I think if Slot does not get top 4, I think that's a failure, me. Like, at least minimum top 4.
Minimum top 4, no?
Yeah, I mean, he has to do that because, like, the thing is, and the difference between Liverpool and the likes of City and whatever is that when a manager comes into Liverpool, you know, we could see what areas of the pitch needed to be strengthened, but it was a dragged out process because of the transfer policies. Well, we can't buy a player unless we sell one or sell two or whatever to fund then what player we're bringing in or what player we needed. So that's why it was a dragged out process. So I okay, the first 2 seasons, you know, 6th and 8th, or 6th and 8th, was it?
Yeah, 6th and 8th, yeah.
Yeah. So I think that was more down to the restrictions and the policies under the owners.
Didn't he get the finals? Didn't he get the 2 finals?
We got to
Europa
the
League,
Europa League final, yeah.
Europa League final. In the second season, we didn't do nothing, did we?
Second season, we came 4th, Brandon says. Also, don't forget Klopp arrived during a season. Exactly, yeah.
I can't. Arnie can't use that excuse of, oh, I need time to build my own team now because the structure's there. Yes, he's going to tweak it a little bit, but he's not. They're not going to hang about for 3 years for him to go, right, it's a rebuilding process because that team strength is there now. He can add to it and make it better, but he can't. He can't have that excuse now. I think if finish 4th or win a cup, I think that would be a successful season for him. You know, in his first season, but we can't. He can't give that. Oh, I've just come in. I need to work with this. I haven't got the foundation because the foundation's been laid out for him. He just needs to tweak it a little bit.
Yep.
Do you not think Arne Slot? He's watched Liverpool. He knows what we're about. He knows the team. Like he must have ideas about who he wants to bring into the club, or how we can improve the club. Surely he's got players on his mind that he can think, oh, if we can bring him in, I think he'll improve the team. Do you think he's had words with Edwards like that? Or do you think Edwards is going, we're having this guy, we're having this guy, we're having this guy?
Well, it's all speculation as to what conversation he's having, because at the end of the day, none of us know, and even the journalists. But the thing is what all right, Martin, how are you? What FSG really need to realize is players aren't there for the long time. You know, a career is short, and you know, at the end of the day, players want. Unfortunately, they want instant success. They don't want like a 5-year plan, and that's why Torres left. What they need to be told, right, well, this is a statement of intent. This is what Arne Slot wants to achieve. How can we help him? Yeah, that's what I think.
There's this article here on the Athletic that I've been kind of like browsing through it a little bit, and there's some points here actually where they say here, like, I hate when they say. So James Pearce says that he can now reveal that Slot scored highest on Liverpool's internal data testing. They also considered Ernesto Valverde and Spalletti there was technical issues surrounding Ruben Amorim and Roberto De Zerbi. There was apparently tensions between Feyenoord and Liverpool during the negotiations, and that Slot's appointment has been warmly received by staff at Anfield. Now, I don't understand that last bit there, because how could they surely know what it's going to be like when they've not even met him yet? Do you know what I mean? He could be an absolute arsehole in person.
See, I just think that you can throw anyone's name into it now, because it's been like I could have said, "Oh yeah, Zidane was coming because Slot signed." You can throw you can throw any name into it. Klopp was talking about not going because we've got a new manager. I think it's just going to be, Piers. I just think because they're talking firm now, I think people's going to start throwing little like that. De Zerbi, he's just left Brighton, has he?
Yeah, he's gone, hasn't he? Yeah, he's gone.
I just think you can throw anything. What's he laughing at?
Did you not just see what happened? I don't know what happened to his phone then or something. But
Did the harmonica fall over again, Sean?
I'm literally trying to send a text message to someone to not to ring me because I'm on a call here, and then the phone just fell onto my keyboard. So yeah,
he got ghosted again. He's ghosting someone else.
Listen, I'm ghosted all the time. Don't even go there.
It says here apparently Richard Hughes, when he was at Bournemouth, was looking at a lot of Feyenoord players to bring to Bournemouth.
Good luck at that. What's Brandon? His message there. De Zerbi is good, but not as good as he thinks he is, in my opinion. I also think he looks more like a City manager. Stoke City.
I think De Zerbi's got Chelsea written all over him. When he was first mentioned, I couldn't see him in red. I could see him in blue. Like still, obviously at Brighton, I could see him with like just sat at Stamford Bridge. I won't be surprised if he ends up there. To be fair, I don't know why, but just got that feeling about him. This bloody article's got. I'm trying to find the bits where they're on about like Amorim and that.
You haven't done your 7Ps today, have you, Adam?
No, I haven't. It only came out when we were talking. So yeah, there were. You know what? I'm not even going to look at it because it's too long. I'll have to just do a separate video on it. Sorry, guys. You'll have to just wait for that. So yeah, is any more thoughts that you want to talk about, guys, regarding Klopp, Slot, or anything like that as we bring it to an end? I've got a comment here on one of my videos earlier that they asked me to read out on the stream. So if you guys don't mind me reading this out, I can read it out and hear your thoughts on it, if that's all right.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah. So this is from Exit Strategy 1609. He thinks it's very strange, sad, and almost stubborn that Liverpool didn't do a cup parade. We won a trophy this season and we should be celebrating it. Klopp said he didn't want it to be about him, yet it has been in the media non-stop talking about him for weeks. Did an official big farewell video from Anfield, the farewell speeches, etc., after the Wolves game, and had the party at the hotel, and he's being paid ticketed event at the Marks and Spencer's Arena that prioritizes match goers with certain amounts of tickets, subs, or whatever it's called. I don't begrudge him any of this stuff, and I have loved him and the things he has done for Liverpool, and fully get it all. Yet the events he has done and will do are for all the usual lucky few. A parade would have ended the season on a high, and all of us in our thousands could have had the opportunity to rightfully celebrate a trophy with the team and see Klopp off together. Even if he didn't want it, if I'm Van Dijk or Trent, I'd be like, well, we're doing it. Up to you if you don't want to come. Somehow he can't put his finger on why, but it seems selfish and a bit hypocritical of Klopp to say that and do and / not do these things. And it's left a bit of a sour note for him. Does any of you guys have any sort of, does that sit with any of you? Any of that?
I think I think, sorry, Martin, I think that the problem with football and the way ticket allocations are nowadays, this is unfortunately the way it's going. I mean, you have to go into a lottery system to get the tickets to next week, I think, is the event, and you have to have a certain amount of credits on your membership in order to be picked out. I think that's I don't think that's fair. I think a lot of people are priced out of football in general. And I think people would have loved to have had a United, regardless of whether you can get to a match, as often as locals. I think it's I don't know. I mean, we can tear that apart and dissect it as much as we want. I think at the end of the day, would it have been cringe with the Carabao Cup and having an open top bus around Anfield, around Liverpool? I don't know. Would I have turned up? Absolutely.
100%. Yeah.
But I mean, the costs. Sorry, Martin.
I think that they just give him his last wish. He didn't want it to all be about him. They've given what he wanted, and he didn't want it. He's brought all his backroom stuff out. He's had everyone thanked. He didn't make the day about him, although it was about him. He's made sure the recognition has been shared out between everyone. And I think open top bus, you would have been amazing, but if he didn't want it, would that have just been a bit more, pissed him off a little bit more?
I think, but if you also look at it, like, I mean, I was thinking of going over, and I know a few people had gone over and didn't have tickets, but the cost of accommodation, the cost of like the hotels, which would have usually cost maybe £100, are now 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900 plus, which is
you weren't
crazy.
Coming over to see Jurgen Klopp, mate. You were coming over to go and get your flat iron chips and curry.
You're damn straight. But you're damn straight. But what I'm saying to you is that, like, from getting tickets over or getting a flight over and then accommodation is crazy. But yeah. I think if you look at the day that was in it yesterday, he made sure that Matip and Thiago went out, and then he got the whole staff to come out that were leaving as well, and then he walked out in the end. And I think that shows more about the man than, I suppose, that comment is given credit for. I don't think it was selfish that he didn't have an open bus top parade. I think, you have to also look at it from the point of view of, like, well, I mean, did the city really need that? There's a lot of time and effort put into it, an awful lot of money put into it. Parading over a Carabao Cup, I mean, that's fine. But parading the Klopp is leaving, I don't know. I don't think it would have made that day any better than what it was. I thought it was a nice tribute to him. I wasn't over for it. So, I don't know. I think it's.
I think the way it ended, I hate saying that because it's heartbreaking, but I think the way it ended with him doing it how we wanted was the best goodbye we could give him.
I think considering the fact that they had to celebrate winning the first league in 30 years in an empty stadium, and I think the fact that he did it his way, he did it in Anfield, he did it in front of the fans, and also then to give the seal of approval for Arne Slot, I think it was just incredible. And the one thing, and I'll just say to those City supporters out there, 61% of Sky Sports viewers tuned in. 61% tuned in to Jurgen Klopp's farewell. 23% were watching the 114 financial fair play breaching team that won the 4th Premier League in a row. That just goes to show you.
Yeah, but Pep also said, hasn't he, that could be he's going to be leaving sooner rather than later now.
Oh yeah, he said that. Yeah,
I think now, right? United had it, then Chelsea had it, City's had it, Liverpool started bringing it up. Now I think it's going to be Arsenal going to start chasing it now. I think everyone's gone through full circle at the moment, and I do think Arsenal are going to go for it again next year.
Can I just highlight Brandon's comment there, and I think that's a just in answer to your man or the person that I put up that thing about Klopp. I think that really sums it up. I mean, I think we're absolutely privileged, regardless of what way he did a farewell. I think we were privileged to have him, and whatever way he wanted to do that. You know, you can't suit everybody, and I think, you know, what better way to do it than to do it in Anfield and to tell the supporters, you are the superpowers, you can spur the team on, and not Tottenham Hotspur spur. I mean, spur the team on to great success. What it was sounding like Borat, and to win things. So I think, you know, that's a great point, but Brandon, I think let's appreciate that we can have this debate. And we can, whether we had a parade or not, or a little gathering or a barbecue for him, we, you know.
Did you? I don't know if you discussed it. Well, we did discuss it before with John Henry and Klopp. But did you see, obviously when Klopp was going around thanking people and Henry was stood next to him, it looked like Henry was trying to talk to him. But Klopp was more like as if to say, "Fuck, get back." I don't know if I can swear on here, but I won't.
Jeez, I've been doing that the whole bloody thing.
Basically telling him to fuck off as he was, talking to people. Like, Henry was in his ear, and Klopp was shaking people's hands, just not even paying any attention to him. Like, listen, what you've done is done now. I'm going. Leave me to it now.
Yeah.
I think maybe we're reading too much on it from our point of view, Martin. Us being not really FSG friendly people. I'm not mentioning the group, but I'm just saying. I think
having more police come to my house, and it's not even my wedding day.
But anyway, that's look. I'm just privileged to, at a real dark time, for Klopp to have decided to become Liverpool manager, and for us to have had the 9 years that we've had, and I mean, literally, he's bloody all over the place. I mean, you know, honest to God, I can't. I'm just a happy guy. The fact that over the last 9 years we've silenced the Manx. I mean, silenced the Manx and absolutely slaughtered them in their own back garden. I mean, slaughtered them. I mean, 5-0, 7-0. Oh, sweet Jesus. And looking at Whiskey Nose, I mean, with his little hat, his little Peaky Blinders hat. And
nothing bitter about you, is there? Nothing bitter. Oh, go on, give us some more.
I love it. I absolutely love it. And you want to talk about the feckin', you know, the memories that we had, the favourite memories. They were absolutely brilliant. They were incredible. And then against Barcelona, and having Messi looking in the crowd, and he's like, "What the fuck has just happened to me?" I was like, "Yeah, you bastard, you." We just
How many
showed.
accents have you got?
I think he's got the one. He's got the one.
Just the one. Just the one.
You know what, Sean? We could never get bored of you, mate, because we don't know what personality you're going to switch into, mate.
So
my favorite, well, not favorite, but the one I will remember the most, and in that, obviously, the thing I sent to you, Adam, was the fact that when he was in the press room and he went, "Are you from that?" Anyway, I have nothing to talk to you about.
Yeah.
He sealed his Liverpool legacy with that one moment in time.
Yeah. Did you see as well, before we start signing off and stuff, that Linda quote tweeted Man City's tweet, because they put something like, what was it they put? Because I can't remember what it was now. I can't remember, but it was something along that they put something like, this means four.
This means
and
four.
Then she put back to them, "Oh, it's good to know you're thinking about us on your big day."
I'll tell you. I won't tell what Brian was looking for in terms of a banner, but I'm definitely going to sell him that banner eventually. Linda in.
Oh, nice
Oh,
one, Brandon.
Well,
Thank you, mate.
Brandon's a top lad, so he's a lovely lad.
Just going back over it, one last thing, about my thoughts and stuff. Like I said, I loved it. I love football. I've come away from it. I still love it. It's not the same game anymore. There's too much arsing around and rolling around. But that man made me get my little spark back.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
I think he brought it back for us all.
Yeah.
Any last words for you, Bri, before we go?
Arne Slot.
La, 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 la.
There we go. I think the future's great, guys. As long as we back the manager and he gets the financial resources he needs, and we keep pissing off Gary Neville in the studio, how good we are. That was one of my favourite memories about Klopp, is Gary Neville in the studio. I could see him grinding and gritting his teeth because we were that good. He hated it. You know what I mean? He's like, oh. And he even said, I can't wait to see the back of Jurgen. And if that's not a compliment, I don't know what is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's like when I went done the obviously the drains and stuff, and I seen him and I said, "Well, about Klopp going, and at least I won't have no contenders for the title next year."
I think that was. I think Brandon's thing. Favorite moment. This is a very erotic voice. Congratulations again, please.
An Irish Russian. Don't have kids, Sean, mate. Don't get
it either turns into Russian or Scottish, either or. But that's about as
Listen, I can't see any of the comments because I'm not good with technology. But for God's sake, people out there, do me a favour. Let's get Sean a wife.
Let's get Sean a wankered.
A wife.
Oh no! I've enough trouble as is. Not enough trouble as is. No,
I'm going to set a GoFundMe page up for his doll.
Don't set up a GoFundMe page because there are fucking idiots that'll do that.
Easy.
There will. I swear to God. I mean, there's still that Mbappe thing. They think that Mbappe is going to join Liverpool, but
I don't want him. I don't like him.
No, neither do
I think he's arrogant.
Yeah. I don't.
But look,
if he came to Liverpool, our team would go downhill. I guarantee it, mate.
Yeah.
I think. Are you leaving this on live on your page? Because I want to watch you back in a bit.
Yeah, we'll be. Yeah.
Right. Anyway, listen, lads, I'm going to have to go because it's nearly 9 o'clock, and when you're 41, sorry, you look forward to 9 o'clock.
All right, then, mate. See you later. Thanks for coming on.
And he's only going to bed.
Go on then, Sean. I'll give you some final words if you want to say anything.
Yeah, look, I mean, I'm very. It's only kind of hit me kind of today a little bit that there's, he's gone, and it's Jesus Christ, I'm getting emotional even talking about it. It's there are so many great memories. Bringing my dad to see Liverpool versus Southampton, which was when Coutinho was playing and Virgil. He was having he was going to join in January, and to get my dad to watch it when after all of the kind of crap that that I was going through with the podcast and the YouTube channel that I had, I got away from all of that, and that was down to Jurgen Klopp, because how can you complain about this man and what he does and what he did for that club? Like he was just incredible. And I mean, that run on as when Origi scored the late winner against Everton, and literally he just ran up and onto the pitch and celebrated with Alisson. There's just so many amazing memories, and I mean, to have that on a DVD, you'd make an absolute fortune on it, because there's just so many. It's a box set. It's a box set, and what he means to me, I'll never be able to express. I just won't. Like he just, as Brandon said, he's a father figure. He just brought everything to the club, and he just brought just so much to the club. I can't thank him enough, and I'm welling up here. I just can't thank him enough. That's how I feel.
Good man, good. I'll answer this one last question here from Gavin. He said, when do you think Slot could be revealed? He's gutted that Klopp's going, but we go again with Slot. I reckon, I don't know, I'd say probably within the next 7 days or so. I won't be surprised if it's this week where we get like some sort of interview from Slot regarding Liverpool and that, but you never know. It could be within I'd say probably within next 7 days or something with that. So yeah, guys, thanks for joining me today. You both and Martin are both welcome to come back whenever you want and stuff like that. I'm hoping to potentially keeping this as like a weekly thing on a Monday. So if you're free, just let me know and stuff like that.
That'd be amazing. Really enjoyed it.
So
Thanks,
before
Adam.
we go, I think I'm just going to share these with everybody that I've not shown any of them off properly yet. So I think I'll just do this one last time before we go, and then that's it, guys. So yeah, enjoy watching these videos, everybody.
But I have an idea. I heard the song today a few times, and you can do that. I have no problem with that. Let's see how the response will be. Arne Slot, la 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 la. Arne Slot, la 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 la. Now imagine the next season starts and you are not waiting what's going on. No, you go full throttle into it. You welcome the new manager like you welcomed me. You go all in from the first day.